Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Thursday the 7th of March 2019. Thank you for joining me. I'm using the Sacred India Tarot for today's reading. Let's have a look at what the cards want you to be aware of. So as I shuffle the cards, I kind of tune in and I'm being told to kind of knock on them to clear the energy. And I just ask the card what Thursday the 7th of March is going to be all about and what we need to know. So these readings are for all signs of the zodiac. They're for everyone who watches. Please share the video if you like it. And let's have a look at what is coming up for you. The blessings of Ganesha. That's a good sign. The Four of Arrows, which is the Four of Swords. And then we have the King of Swords. Okay. So the blessings of Ganesha, I don't see what card this is in the regular tarot. I think this is a card that's specific to this deck. I'm certainly no expert when it comes to Indian philosophy or Hinduism or anything like that. But the blessings of Ganesha, I would assume, would be to remove obstacles from your path and to really allow you to move forward in a joyous way without having things block you. The mouse, I'm not really sure what that means. The only thing that I can associate this with is that elephants are scared of mice. That's something as a child, I was always told stories like that where elephant saw a mouse and just freaked and ran off. So in this deck, even a mouse can't throw Ganesha because he's just in such a good state. He's in such a happy place. And the blessings that he gives us are the ability to really just push through any obstacles that are in our way, and that usually are insurmountable obstacles that we feel like we cannot overcome. Today, we are able to overcome those. Now, at the center of the reading, we have the Four of Arrows, the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is usually a man lying down in a church, and he's kind of resting and preparing, and it's the contemplation before the action. Here we've got a wise man meditating, and we have the four swords around him, and we have this beautiful dark blue color here, which is just absolutely gorgeous with the red arrows there. And that is really the opposite of the blessings of Ganesha, because Ganesha is saying, okay, let's go. It's like Aries in astrology, or the number one in numerology. It's about, there are no obstacles. We're going to push on through. We're going to just move forward, and there's no thinking involved. It's just action. But the Four of Arrows is all about contemplation and non-action, and really, really getting in touch with your feelings. And the arrows, the thoughts, or the things that indicate action, are almost seen as symbols of danger because of the color red here. Red can be associated with passion, with fire, but also it can be a symbol of stop, danger, fire, you know? So I really see this man contemplating and meditating and really being pure in his thoughts and really trying his best to get in touch with his emotions, his higher self, and to to maintain a state of non-action. I don't know if you've ever tried to meditate, but I do transcendental meditation. And when I meditate, I say the mantra over and over and over again. And I get distracted all the time. So it's, oh, I have to plug in my phone. But instead of getting up and plugging in my phone, I let the thought go by and I go back to the mantra, and then other things will try and distract me. But the trick is to stick with the mantra, and then you get to a place of rest and calm and peace. So that's what he's doing here in the middle. And then finally, we have the King of Arrows, the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is someone who it's a court card, first of all. He's moved up the ranks from being the Page of Arrows to the Knight of Arrows to the King of Arrows. And the King of Arrows is a man who's really, really wise. He relies on his thoughts, his logic, and in this case, he is this beautiful angel. And he's got a feather in his hand, and on the feather, the world is resting. So the world is nothing to him. He's overcome the illusion of the physical world, and he is this universal celestial being that really isn't bound by any. It's like almost anything of the world is almost ridiculous because it's so light to him that it's lighter than a feather. And he has this arrow in his hand, which he can aim and throw at any situation which he desires, and he can use his influence and his decision-making process to really make a situation or break a situation by throwing this arrow. I mean, if you look at the difference between the world here and how light it is, and then the size of the arrow, imagine the power of that arrow being thrown and what kind of impact it would have. And it's bigger than the world. It could destroy the world almost. So the King of Arrows has taken thought and thinking to the level of creation. You can see this face of a goddess here in the background, and he's got his third eye activated, and it's almost like he's a god himself. Got the snakes here, symbols of wisdom. And it's interesting because if he is going to use this arrow, he can be the maker and destroyer of worlds. He can really, if he threw this arrow at the world, it would explode, it would be destroyed. So it's almost thinking taken to the level where it's so extreme that it's godlike in its power, and that it can create solar systems and destroy individual planets. So that's really very interesting. And let me see, in terms of combining all of these three, we've got a very complicated match here, or a very complicated recipe for the day. First of all, Blessings of Ganesha is saying, let's go, move forward. Everything is surmountable. There are no problems. Second of all, we have take non-action. Get in touch with your real self. Look at your feelings. Don't take any action because it's dangerous. Stop. Hang on. Stop. Don't rush forward. These arrows symbolize danger. And then we have the King of Arrows, who is just, it's monstrous to have this much power, in my perception. So that arrow is also extremely dangerous, because not only can it, for instance, mess up your job or get you kicked out of your rented apartment, or you say the wrong thing, you make a decision and you say something in your relationship and it ends the relationship, or you say something to your friends that you've decided you're no longer going to put up with, and the friends react really badly and it comes to an end. Those are trivial, tiny little things for the King of Arrows, because when he throws an arrow, the whole planet goes to smithereens. So he is a very dangerous angel. He is like power run riot. So what I feel is that the thinking today and action based on your thoughts is very, 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 very powerful. And you have to be very, very, very careful what you decide to do and what action you take, because not only can you blow obstacles out of your way, but you can completely obliterate and blow things to smithereens. So you can completely burn your bridges beyond any repair. You can completely destroy any kind of situation that you're in through the actions that you take based on your thoughts. So what if you change your mind? What if 3 hours later you think, oh, they weren't really that bad. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. But they're gone forever. You've taken the arrow and you've thrown it, and that has completely destroyed the friendship group. So at the center of the reading is the Four of Arrows. And I always feel that the center of the reading is the most important, and the two cards on the sides are influences that put the center card into context, or at least today I feel that way. And what I really think is that the main message we're getting is that your thoughts today are dangerous, and that the thoughts that you take and take action on are really, really dangerous, and it's very important to hold back and to try and stay in a position of non-action, because it's really likely that you'll destroy things in your life that you don't want to destroy. So the blessings of Ganesha are actually a force of destruction in your life because of the King of Arrows on the other side of this, and because of the dangerous thoughts that are floating around today. Often we don't know what's good or bad for us. Sometimes, like for instance, if you get a job in a different field and you're like, oh, I'm so happy to get this job, and it turns out to be a 5-year nightmare of trying to get ahead, and you're stuck with red tape and you don't make very much money, and you have terrible colleagues who you're constantly feuding with. And getting the job, the joy you initially had about getting that job turns into something nightmarish. Or losing a job may seem terrible at the time, but you find something else that's much better a week later, and you're like, oh my goodness, that thing that I thought was so horrible was actually a good thing. So we don't always know what's right or wrong. And the power is way over the top today. And the arrows are really, really red and really kind of dangerous. And Ganesha is dancing there and is saying, go, 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 go. So it's a warning. it's a big warning to try and not act and not to speak your truth and to hold back a little bit and to bite your tongue, because it's really likely that you can destroy things which you don't want to destroy. So I think this is a day for keeping your own counsel, waiting for the energy to pass, letting things go by, waiting for tomorrow, and not making any big decisions on this day. We are in a period of Mercury retrograde in terms of the astrology. So that's always about different ways of thinking, and you may find a different way of thinking and you're like, oh, aha, this is the way forward. It's totally different. I've never tried this and I'm totally inspired. I'm going to do it. And it turns out to be erroneous. You've never done it before and it blows up in your face. And that's the kind of thing that today, especially, don't experiment with new things. They're very likely to blow up in your face. So the best thing to do today is to do nothing and to wait tomorrow and to double check to see what you were thinking and whether it was right, and to just hold off a little bit, because you can destroy your whole world. So I would count this as a court card because I'm not getting any specifications on it. So I'm going to count this as 1. 1 and 4 is 5. And another court card is 6. And 6 is a temporary window and a temporary gateway that opens. So you have the potential to completely blow your life to smithereens today. So don't use that opportunity. Let the window open and close by itself, and really just bite your tongue today and listen rather than talk. Learn and reflect rather than take action, and bulldoze your way into situations. And I think that's the way to get the most out of Thursday, the 7th of March. Wow, amazing. So I hope you have a great day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to audio reading. In my personal readings, I use astrology, tarot, and numerology. If you like this video, please share it online. Have a wonderful day. Click the subscribe button so that you'll be notified of these daily tarot readings that I do, the weekly horoscopes, which are for all signs of the zodiac, and also the special videos I do on the full moon and new moons, and the monthly and yearly horoscopes that I do for each sign of the zodiac. Have a fabulous day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.